Hello and welcome to they're all special now. Every episode of the Beard Owl podcast is special, and this is no exception. It's the podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And we are on to track 2 of the Dare to Be Stupid album. I have Russ, who thank you for making your way from the living room again.
You should, certainly not with Noah, but like with a guest in the future, you should be like, well, they're all very special. Well, no, not this episode because we have Bill.
Oh,
or, you know what I mean? Like, you should be like, this one's not special.
Oh my gosh, I'll do it when I have the itch guys on.
Oh yeah, they'll
take that.
They'll take it that
they will
joke well.
or smoke, one or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, I am here.
I am here.
I'm excited about this.
You should be excited about this because I know a guy.
I do. I know a guy.
We've got Noah here too. Hey, Noah.
Hello.
First of all, I'm very excited that you're back on the show. I'm very excited that you're here to talk about the song Dare to Be Stupid from the album Dare to Be Stupid. But the one thing, and this is so incredibly minor, that disappoints me about this turn of events is we're not going to get my patented Noah replies on Twitter to the episode multi-thread.
Well, he could always do a parody of his own replies, which I would imagine would be brilliant.
Maybe. No pressure.
Well, the thing is, one, as I said in my thread last week, that basically this is just like a Twitter thread, except it can go on for as long as possible, or an hour,
an hour-ish.
and an hour-ish, and I'm so much of a narcissist that I will have plenty to say about the things that I said in this episode.
Trust me, I get that when I used to do my own show. While editing, I would be like, ugh, like at myself here and again. So I get it.
That's delightful.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a moment like that on the last episode where it was you and me and Zach talking about Like a Surgeon, where I yawned. And then you, Russ, were like, Lauren, why are you yawning? I hope the audience is more excited about your own show than you are. And I was like, no, I'm excited about this. I promise. I'm just yawning. So.
Yeah. There's another podcast that I listen to.
Whoa. You listen to another podcast? Hold on.
I'm sorry. I do have to give some love to other podcasts, but they got a similar critique about not being higher energy enough. So they would always try as best as they could to be as high energy simply out of spite. So,
oh, being high energy out of spite. I like that.
I love spite. It's my favorite emotion. My favorite thing to do.
Wow. We're getting real early here. Before that continues too much, I need to explain how stupid I'm being right now. Because the beer that I've chosen for Dare to Be Stupid, they were a buy one, get one free at the store a couple of weeks ago. So we bought one and we got one. It's 12-pack of this from Sweetwater Brewing Company in Atlanta, Georgia. They did this series of gummies.
Hand to God, I thought Sweetwater was Florida until this very moment.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not that I can't read. I just have never looked at the can.
No, that's totally fair.
You showed me as if I was like, oh, that's how you spell Atlanta.
And that's how you pronounce Georgia.
Right.
So they're gummies IPAs, which means they're like sweet and sour and a little meant to taste like fruit candy, I suppose. This is a cherry limeade IPA, which is dangerous because it's ridiculous and it's 9.5%. And these are we had one the other day, you and me, Russ, and we were like, if you're not like into IPAs, you would like this, but it's gonna be a problem.
Okay, so it's a double-edged sword though, because like in a way, it's like, oh, if you're not into IPAs, but also this, okay, you know how there's IPAs, and I can't think of one off the top of my head right now, but there's some IPAs that are like very mild.
Sure.
Okay, this does not taste like an IPA at all to me. So my thing is, it wouldn't be like a gateway beer. Like it wouldn't be like, oh, well, if you like this, then maybe you should try other IPAs, because this in no way, shape, or form tastes like an IPA.
No.
Having said that, I think they're all like 8.5 or 9%
9.5.
or something. Yeah, and they all taste great.
Yeah.
That was the other thing too, and this is not a critique because it was fine by me, but the watermelon sour did not taste in any way sour.
No, it tasted like a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the stupid beer that I have, and I'm daring to drink it now. So.
Very nice.
There we have
I do not have a drink with me today, but I'm drinking up the moment.
Oh.
So that's why I don't have a drink either, just FYI. I had 2 the other day, but I have none this evening. So.
I'm the only one contractually obligated to have some kind of beverage on this program.
Yeah, I've seen the paperwork. You are contractually obligated.
I really painted myself into a corner with that contract that I made myself sign.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do when you strong arm yourself like that? You know what I mean?
I know. It's bad.
Yep. Don't want big beer coming after you.
No, big beer, little beer, beer don't come after me. So, Dare to Be Stupid. The song, it's track 2 on the album Dare to Be Stupid, which was released in the year 1985. And according to Ye Olde Internet, we of course know that this is very famously a style parody of Devo, especially the Oh No, It's Devo album, like Big Mess, Deep Sleep, Time Out for Fun, Whip It, Jocko Homo, and That's Good. And, one thing I absolutely remember about the song, this is one of those things that's like lives rent-free in my brain from watching the Weird Al Yankovic Behind the Music on the Video Hits 1 channel. Was Mark...
that Video Hits 1 or Video Hits 1 Classic? This is Video Hits 1?
This was on Video Hits 1.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Where Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo was so funny on that episode, but also he was absolutely telling the truth where he basically said that Weird Al created the perfect Devo song and he doesn't understand how he did it, and he was kind of mad about it. He was like, and I hate him for it.
Right. Yeah. It's on the Behind the Music.
Yeah. That's what I said, on Video Hits 1.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, and so like the first time I heard this, Noah, I don't know about you. I'm going to make puns about your name this whole time. I had never heard a Devo song outside of Whip It before I heard this song, so it took me quite some time to understand how brilliant this is.
As a person who was like alive and buying music at the time, like, on account of the fact that you weren't, I don't think anybody outside of maybe college kids had heard anything except for Whip It by the time this came out.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I was not overly familiar with Devo. I, as a child, remember watching pop-up video on VH1, so I definitely saw the Whip It music video. So Dare to Be Stupid was really kind of my first introduction to Devo proper, even though I did recognize the name Mark Mothersbaugh because he actually did the theme music and a lot of the music for the Nickelodeon cartoon Rugrats, which is, yes, yeah. And that is a show that I grew up loving. And I always knew the name Mark Mothersbaugh, but I couldn't put it together until a few years ago that was the same guy. So that was kind of interesting. And I love that segment of that Behind the Music because Weird Al says, I played the song for Mark Mothersbaugh and he said he loved it. And then he goes, he could have been lying, but I don't know. And that is something that I quote to myself pretty frequently. So.
That's great. Yes. Oh, the Rugrats of it all with Mark Mothersbaugh. And like once you know Devo and you hear the Rugrats music, like it all makes complete sense. Like that tracks, like it absolutely. So then Noah, you of course would be one of the people on the planet who would get it when sometimes in frustration I say out loud to myself, I am not an abadal, I'm a humid bead. Being, of course, Chucky Finster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a humid bead.
I know you've worked some retail with like a the craft store and whatnot. But you ever work like traditional retail, like Best Buy or anything like that?
No, only crafts, strictly crafts.
So when you do that, you have to hear certain things over and over and over and over. And there was a Rugrats Christmas special that we had to
The Hanukkah special?
Sure, maybe.
They're
don't know.
famously Jewish.
Oh well, then definitely Hanukkah. But it was like a 45-minute videotape or something that was on repeat for the entirety of the holiday season, and that's all I know of the Rugrats. So I could just hear those voices a lot.
Baba.
Apparently, I wasn't paying close enough attention to know that it was Hanukkah. But
Well, that's fair. It's oh my gosh, we're going down this rabbit hole, and I absolutely love it. So Noah,
Yes.
we watch classic Family Feud quite a bit. Okay, I'm going somewhere with this, and it's related to exactly what's happening here because this is probably what Russ's brain did. There was an episode from the Ray Combs era of the Family Feud where he has the people up there where they're doing the little buzzer question to figure out who gets to play, and it was a name and a tradition associated with Christmas, and this woman buzzes in and goes Hanukkah, and Ray Combs does not know what to do with himself, and this woman is from like Long Island or something, right? So she's very she's Catholic and she's Italian, and he looks at her and he goes, "What kind of Christmas tradition is Hanukkah?" And she goes, "The Jewish one." And that's my story.
I mean, kinda. It's early Christmas, sorta.
Yeah.
I will say this, and
we get back on track.
Yeah, we got to move on, or else this is going to be accidentally the Family Feud episode. But I will say this, that if you have Pluto TV, or I'm sure there's like on all the free stuff, Tubi and all, I'm sure they all have channels like this too. But anyways, there's a channel on Pluto TV where all they do is show Richard Dawson and Ray Combs era Family Feud. And it's like, if I were to guess, it's probably like 1978 to like 1988, something like that. And for me, it's fun to watch for the questions that never in 1 million years would get asked now. I saw one the other day that was like, outside of talking too much, name a habit that most wives have that irritate their husbands. And I was like, you started with outside of talking too much, because they're like, listen, everyone's going to say that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, huh. And then what was the one you pointed out to me? One that said, what would a husband make for himself if he was at home alone?
Yeah, if the wife's not home, what would the husband make himself for dinner?
Yeah.
Number one answer, TV dinner.
Takeout.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just was like, those two questions is like they would never in 1 million years think about it.
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's great. Worth watching. But speaking of things that happened in the 80s, Dare to be Stupid.
Sure did.
Look at that segue.
Well done.
So there were so many winks and nods to Devo's oeuvre that I didn't know because I'm not a devotee.
No, boy.
But
have I ever told you this in real life or on your show, what my favorite fan club name ever for any artist is?
no.
And this is so minor. And I think he might have even passed away. But in the early 90s, there was a country artist named Joe Diffie.
I know Joe Diffie.
Do you know what his fan club is called?
No.
I bet you can guess it if you think about it.
Diffie. I don't know.
The Diffie Cult.
Difficult.
I know. It's my favorite fan club name ever.
I love Joe Diffie and his marvelous mullet and that little mustache.
Here's what's great. If you were to Google that right now, you'll find out that that's real. I don't know why I know that. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why.
You're not a part of the difficult.
I'm not recovering. I was not in it. I've never tried to recruit for them. Like, I don't even remember what his single was, which I'm the guy that's always like, oh yeah, they had that one single. Like, I'm the guy, right? I have no idea what his single was.
Joe Diffie.
I know of him.
Yeah.
And I'm not being funny because I think I'm not in any way trying to speak ill of the dead because I think he did pass away. But anyways, I don't know why, but I know that his fan club was called The Difficult.
Oh, he did pass away. COVID. Yeah.
Ugh.
Pickup Man, John Deere Green.
I have no idea.
Country.
But anyways, so that's when you said devotee, it made me think of
That's marvelous.
The Difficult.
That is marvelous.
So, but yeah, let me
God.
stop derailing us. And
No, well,
go
this is
back
what
to,
happens. I like that it's been a long time since there's been a patented Beard Owl podcast tangent, but here we are. But anyway, so there's a lot of references to Devo in Dare to Be Stupid that I didn't know about. There are many references to potatoes in the song because apparently potatoes were a popular theme that Devo used in their music.
Huh.
The Devo song references lyrically also include things like the last Devo Warner Brothers album in 1984 was titled Shout, as well as a mention of Look Out for Mr. Goodbar from the hardcore Devo pre-record deal era from a song that they did live called Nutty Buddy. So Look for Mr. Goodbar apparently is also something that was a thing, but also a nod to Devo. Let's see. The line, this line. Yes! Is reminiscent of the Yes from Explosions on the Devo album Oh No, It's Devo. And the descending synth line heard during the lines Dare to Be Stupid is similar to the one that Bob 2 is shown playing during the verse in the video for Whip It.
Nice.
And there's also apparently, I'm not going to go through all of those, but there's a lot of sight nods to Devo in the video for the song as well, which I can pick out some of them, but apparently there's way more than my brain even recognizes.
We'll get into it. Well, we're not to the things
Not
we
yet.
like and whatever. Okay, but me personally, for this is all about the commercial references in it. But
Yeah.
but what's cool is, and of course, again, it's a Weird Al thing, but I don't know enough about Devo to have ever known that the commercials weren't random. Like the things that he picked were because they could be references to Devo.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, of course, famously, the song was featured in the 1986 animated film, The Transformers movie. So we're not going to let Russ talk about that.
Moment of silence for Optimus Prime.
Watched the music video a couple of times over the last few days, and I'm sure there's so many different references. It's like so packed with the most random stuff. And I always love watching music videos from the 80s because it's like I said, it's always random. It's like, here's the thing that the song's about, and then the music video never has anything to do with what the actual song is about. So you're just getting a ton of like really trippy scenes all put together. And so that was really fun to kind of go back into that kind of world. And yeah.
I mean, a lot of that was absolutely like hard references to Devo, like the black and white bits of old stock footage. They're an homage to the Devo video, Beautiful World. The hazmat suits, like all this, that, and the other. Like, there's so much, it seems random, but literally everything in the video means something. It's so like intentional madness. So, yeah, those are my fun facts about Dare to Be Stupid, the song. So that was fun. Now we get into the best. Do you have a fact, or do you just having fun?
I was gonna say no. I had a lot of fun hearing those facts.
Good.
Just
That's what we
making
do.
a stupid joke.
No, it's not. Well, dare to do it. Like, that's what we're here for. That's the whole point. So I guess now we move on to the best part of the show, the most fun part of the show, the part where we talk about the stuff that we really like about the song. So I usually let the guest take the first stab at the thing that they think works. So Noah, you get to go first.
Thank you. So I tend to really prefer the style parodies and the original Weird Al songs over the parodies. The parodies are great, but I really feel like he has his moment to kind of shine with these style parodies in particular. And so the thing that I really love about this song in particular is that it would be very, very easy to just make a song that kind of sounded like Devo, that was, a little bit dissonant, had some synth and, maybe a couple other instruments that Devo uses in their work. But he really goes all out, and he really looked at their entire oeuvre to really create Dare to Be Stupid, even as you were saying, going so far as to look at the music video. There's so many throwbacks to other Devo songs that I think that's something that's really, really interesting, because it's like Mark Mothersbaugh said, like, it really elevates Devo's work, and it is, the best Devo song that Devo never wrote.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Like, it's as Devo as it gets without actually being Devo. And I think it's more Devo than Devo, which I'm going to save it for my last point. Because I think I might break my own brain if I say it before I say anything else. So,
to tack on to what Noah was talking about, I think that's one thing that, at least as a kid, I didn't get at first, and I know full-grown adults who still don't get it, that the style parody or the pastiche, in the hands of anybody else other than Weird Al, is making fun of that artist. In the hands of Weird Al, though, the way he does these style parodies are with such reverence. And there's two that I always play for people, and it's rare that they understand that he's not trying to make fun of them. And it is Charles Nelson Riley and My Own Eyes. And because My Own Eyes sounds like every single Foo Fighters hit. It sounds like every single one of them. But I don't in any way, shape, or form think Weird Al's trying to make fun of the Foo Fighters. He's just like, y'all have a very distinctive style about what you do. And it's the same way, like, I eat, sleep, and drink the Jack White and all things White Stripes. And, like, it's like I can take a joke, and, like, you hear that and you're like, whoa, that literally sounds like everything on the first 5 Stripes records,
Mm-hmm.
And with this, this is the first time that when I was a little kid, like when I bought this was the first time that I was like, oh, that totally sounds like Devo. And I think it's on purpose. Like, I mean, like, I wasn't entirely sure because, I don't know. We didn't have anybody to tell us,
Yeah.
And the video wasn't in heavy rotation. Like now you can just go watch it. It wasn't in heavy rotation back then, So, and that's one of the reasons why I was talking about earlier about not everybody knows, or nobody knows, or at the time no one knew anything other than Whip It, or the average music fan. So I was like, oh, this kind of sounds like Whip It, but not really, but then later on you're like, oh, it's because he was doing a bit where it's everything wrapped into one, So.
Yeah. It's like, it's so smart. It's so smart. And, I like that we're just going to go in circles piggybacking on stuff here, because I think that makes complete sense. And I think lyrically, this song is brilliant enough to stand on its own outside of the Devo of it all, right? Because I didn't get the Devo reference early. I just like, these lyrics are silly, but I really appreciate the point that this is trying to make. It's okay. You can dare to be stupid. And those lyrics stand so strongly on their own, to the point that on the first ridiculously self-indulgent ill-advised vanity tour, and of course the unfortunate return of the ridiculously self-indulgent ill-advised vanity tour, Al did do Dare to Be Stupid, but in different styles.
Yeah.
Each time he was in the style of the Grateful Dead on the first one, and it was like a lounge song in the second one. And I think that really speaks to, like, the transformative nature that this song can have. And I definitely don't think he planned that in 1985, but I like that this song was capable of having such an interesting evolution.
I don't think he planned being able to reinvent it musically, but I think absolutely the lyrics are very, very purposeful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, one of the things, so we had talked before about how I originally was going to go through every Devo album up to 1985.
Yeah, that didn't go too well.
Yeah, so that I could have some idea, because I wanted to find out like how well he did. But so that did not last very long. That lasted like half an album. But I would say, even like Russ was saying, if you hear Whip It, you kind of get the idea. You know, it's kind of a thing where the best style parodies are the ones where you instantly know who it is that he's doing. Like, even with something like Mr. Popeil, you immediately know that it is a B-52's style parody. And I can imagine watching that music video in 1985 for Dare to Be Stupid. It's the kind of thing where he wanted to make it so that the minute that it starts playing, you think that you're watching a Devo music video until he comes on the screen. And then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe he just did that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's very, very true. I love it. So we've gone around the circle once. Did you have another point, Noah, that you think really works about Dare to Be Stupid?
So this has to do more with the lyrics of Dare to Be Stupid, and the similarity between what Al is doing and what Devo is doing. Is Devo, from the little bit that I listened to, they're very much kind of anti-establishment, and they definitely do like a lot of call to actions in their songs. And so listening to Dare to Be Stupid, I was kind of impressed, because the song Dare to Be Stupid kind of is an anti-establishment song, but in the most ridiculous ways. Like, he's telling people, you know, like, look a gift horse in the mouth, bite off more than you can chew. Like, all of these things that would kind of challenge what society says you're supposed to act like. And so I thought that was really interesting, that even though he's not a message guy, he's not a social commentary guy in any way, that he's still very much making a song where the message of the song is still very much a Devo-esque sentiment.
Yes.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed about the lyrics, like very early on, is the and it goes exactly with what you were just saying, is the first, at a minimum, the first verse is all the reverse of everything that says that you hear don't, which everything is escaping me now, but don't let the bed bugs bite. Even there was a song called Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. Like, it's literally like everything in that is him being like, it's time to do those things now.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, even the call to action, like right at the beginning, like it's time to join in the fight, you know. Like, don't let the bed bugs bite, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys, is like everything he says in there is all like, it's time to do those things now. Which I think is great. And then we'll get to it a little later, because it's actually one of my things that I'm not sure if it works anymore. But at the time, I adored all of the commercial references. Like I don't think anybody but me even remembers what Coffee Achievers is and all that, you know. But and the Mr. Sharman references and all that stuff too is all, I think, you know, meant to be like, even that the saying for that commercial was "Don't squeeze the Sharman."
Yeah.
You know?
I literally remember asking my mom at the time. I was like, Mom, who is Mr. Whipple?
Oh, yeah. There were like 3 old people that I remember being like commercial icons in the 80s. One was the Dunkin' Donuts guy.
Fred.
The Time to Make the Donuts guy. And then the Where's the Beef Lady from Wendy's, and then Mr. Whipple was like a thing. That was like a thing people knew of, you know. And it, you know, in some ways it's probably just me being old now, but I'm like, it's like simpler time type thing for me, you know, like it's probably social media is the problem, but like we didn't have to have a thing where we had to argue over like the Bears wiping their butts and whatnot. Like we literally argue about on social media now. Like people were just like, oh yeah, that's funny. That guy's grumpy and he doesn't want you to squeeze in the Charmin, you know, but I always laughed at the fact that he's like, you better squeeze all the Charmin you can while Mr. Wimple's not around. Like I just envisioned Al like at the end cap being like checking over both shoulders and being like, go
Squeeze it.
Yeah, squeeze it now. So
Yeah, by the time that I saw a Charmin commercial, I don't know that they were using Mr. Whipple, but I do remember the squeezing of the Charmin was a big thing because of how soft it was.
And is.
It is.
I have recently become a Charmin devotee. I went through a very long time where I wasn't really brand loyal to any particular toilet paper. But I feel like now is my time to say this. I like what Charmin has done with the clean tear, where it's like a squiggle where you rip the sheet. So like you're gonna rip along, like there's almost zero risk of like getting like half a square or something like this. It rips very nicely, and I like the way it looks. I like that it's not a straight line. We bought it by accident once, and I was like, this will be my toilet paper now. Thank you very much. You're a nice soft Charmin that tears cleanly.
Sorry to go get away from your toilet paper.
I was bearing my soul.
But I had to Google the lyrics real quick because it reminded me of something else. Even the second verse here, again, this is all don't stuff. That put your eggs in one basket, count your chickens before they hatch. But then the next one is another commercial thing. You better sell some wine before it's time. And that I'm probably going way out off the reservation here, but. Do you have any idea who was in those commercials? The whole "we will sell no wine before it's time."
No.
Orson Welles, whose last acting job ever was Unicron in the Transformers movie, which featured Dare to Be Stupid in it.
Wow.
Full circle.
Wow, that is pretty amazing.
So. But yeah, there was like it was like the world's worst wine in the, I forget what it was. It's not Reuniti or anything, but I forgot
Gallo?
what it was. Maybe, but it was like, you know, let me put it this way.
I'll go check.
Nice. Let me put it this way. When I was a kid, and you know, it's a generational thing, but in the late 70s when they were running those commercials, like that's who Orson Welles was to me. You know, like I had no concept of like War of the Worlds or any of the great things that he had done. I'm like, oh, that's the no wine till it's time guy. My parents were like, yeah, he did other things too.
Paul Mason wine.
Sure.
Apparently, because if you Google Orson Welles wine, the first thing that showed up, at least for me, on my Google search results page was a link to a YouTube video, Orson Welles drunk outtakes for Paul Mason wine commercial. So I will be watching that later.
But yeah, when I was a kid, that's who he was to me. You know, I didn't know that he was more than the guy who did the wine commercials.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But anyways, yeah. So, but that line from that commercial is referenced in this song. And then the song is in the movie that would end up having his last acting credit.
Amazing.
Wow.
So go ahead.
And another thing that I wanted to bring up is it is funny that it has a lot of these references. It has a lot of these sayings where he's telling people to go against what these traditional sayings say. And then it also, he throws in like, you know, put your head in the microwave and give yourself a tan, or mashed potatoes can be your friend. And I just think that is kind of, it goes from here's some conventional things where you should go against the grain, and then here are some incredibly dangerous things that you should also do, which
Yeah,
I think is kind of a beautiful kind of mashup of, uh, injecting his own kind of humor into it.
absolutely. So be with me on this. Because I feel like with what has been said here about the lyrical content of the song, up to this point, and pretty much it is what it is, the main thesis of Devo's whole oeuvre, I like saying oeuvre, was basically like, we as a consumerist society are going to consume ourselves to the brink of complete like idiocy. That's what Devo.
I'm glad they were wrong about that.
Yeah,
huh?
right. That's de-evolution, right? Like that was the
Right.
whole thing. So I think one of the most brilliant things that Al could have done with a Devo pastiche was to essentially accept the de-evolution and encourage people to do the stupid things that they have devolved into thinking are a good idea. Much like you said, Noah, with like the stick your head in the microwave, that's dangerous. And then going against all conventional wisdom with all of the idioms that we're just doing the opposite of now. And so in many ways, this is a Devo pastiche, but also kind of a post-Devo song, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Because, I mean, Al embraces chaos. He embraces all that, all that is wonderful and zany, and there's this phrase that is, to be cringe is to be free.
That's very true.
And so I think that definitely this song kind of plays into the idea that, worrying too much about what other people think, you're just wasting your time. You need to kind of accept yourself for who you are so that people have the opportunity to get to know you as you are.
Yeah. I mean, that's Al's basic thesis, I think, in a lot of things with all of his music. Did we have any other?
I just have a personal memory thing that I want to
Yeah.
share about the song. So I mentioned previously, and you had already done, and I'm sure anyone listening to this show knows that the song is featured in the Transformers movie. And, if you've never seen the film, I'm about to spoil a major plot point of a 39-year-old movie. So, just fast forward 30 seconds or so. So Optimus Prime very famously dies in the Transformers movie, and it is the most heartbreaking thing ever in the history of the world. Like, children were not prepared for this. Like, it happens very early in the movie, and like, it is done in a very heartbreaking way. I went to the theater to see this film and cried really hard along with all the other kids, and did not get over it for like the next 40 minutes until Dare to Be Stupid started playing in the movie, and I didn't have any idea that was coming. And between the song and because the movie, somebody's gonna have to correct me on this, but it's a junk planet that they go to, and it's I think it's an entire race of Transformers that are like made out of junk, and it might be the Junkticons or the Junkcrons or something like that. I just remember one of them was a motorcycle and he was sweet. But anyways, and literally that was like the only thing that cheered me up in the theater when I saw it. Was not, I mean, they were funny because they were all made of junk and everything, but the song playing, because I didn't have any idea it was coming. And so when it started, I was like, yay, Weird Al. Like, I was really still sad about Optimus Prime dying, though, even though it was Optimus Prime's fault and he's an idiot. But I was still very happy when the Weird Al song started playing.
Do you think that's why they put that there? To be like, kids are going to be real sad. Let's throw Weird Al at this.
Blow.
I mean,
the blow.
Yeah, soften the blow.
Like it probably could have served a dual purpose. Like, the parents that were taking the kids would probably be like, I think this is Devo. I think this is Devo, and like the kids would have been like it. Like, I don't think a bunch of kids knew Dare to Be Stupid per se, but like the lines in the song, if nothing else, probably would make kids laugh.
Yeah.
But like literally, because I had already bought the album. So as soon as the song started, I was like, yay. And then like literally I had this like survivor's guilt thing where I like halfway through the song felt guilty for laughing because Optimus Prime was still dead.
Oh,
So, but yeah, that was like the only thing that cheered me up watching that entire movie the first time.
that's a good positive thing.
Yeah.
Noah, did you have any other points you wanted to make about what works about Dare to Be Stupid?
I mean, the only other thing, and I really already said this, is just that it's a great message song. If you're taking it, outside of the silly lyrics, I think it's a really, really uplifting song. I love the performance of it on the Weird Al Yankovic live DVD from 1999. That's a brilliant performance, and just you have a theater full of people singing "Dare to Be Stupid, Dare to Be Stupid," and that's the kind of unity that Al is able to bring, and the community that he's able to bring.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I mean, I could. I'm going to throw it over to ads here in a second, but the last thing that I want to add is just I just love the beep boo beep boo beep boo beep boo synth the entire time, and I love watching Al perform that live because he doesn't have to look at his hand to do that.
The
little
one
riff.
hand.
It's great. It's great. It's great.
And I love the urgency in the song too. It's like, it feels like important. It feels like there's an urgency that, you must do something now, which I think really serves the song.
When you were talking about the urgency, which all very valid points, I don't know why, but the very beginning of the song was in my head now. Well, I was like kind of thinking about how quickly it gets going. And I don't know why this just crossed my mind, but the very first lyric in the song, the "Put down the chainsaw and listen to me," it just paints such a picture. It's like, wait, what was going on that you needed? Like, and also the person with the chainsaw that needed to be put down was probably already daring to be stupid. Like,
right, but so it's put down that chainsaw and listen to me. It's time for you to join in the fight.
Right.
So you're putting down the chainsaw, which you could potentially be using in the fight.
Yeah.
To go do this other stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for something slightly less brilliant, which is ads. Consumerism.
Depending on what time of year you're listening to it, I bet it's going to be something about a local candidate or a government candidate.
Hey, guess what? I turned off the political option.
Oh, hooray.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh.
Okay, so never mind, just fast food.
Yeah,
That's
probably
gonna
fast
be
food or grocery or a lot of people get it for ED drugs, apparently. That's what I've been getting the feedback on, so I'm like, that's not my fault. Okay.
Enjoy the ads for the Greenville Drive if you're listening in Greenville, South Carolina.
Nice.
Or the Clemson Gamecocks. That is a team name, sorry.
No, I believe. Oh, I know. I'm familiar. All right. Get some cock ads. That went both ways. You see what I did there?
You did.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Not trying to get you rated explicit. But,
No. I did that to myself, and it's totally fine. Okay, are we ready? Mm-hmm. And we're back. Those were great, weren't they? Uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm inspired.
Well, they certainly weren't political. I know that.
No, for sure. Definitely not. All right, we're into the womp womp portion of the show, which is I think is going to go pretty quickly about this particular song.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
So, for y'all that are young to younger than I am, and by that I mean that like I had to explain I didn't have to, but I did explain the sell some wine fourth time. You don't remember the actual Charmin guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, so for years, and by years I mean decades, I have always thought that this song aged poorly because nobody else was going to remember the references.
Okay.
The Coffee Achievers and Sell Some Wine Before It's Time and Mr. Charmin and even the Look for Mr. Goodbar are all things that I remember from the late 70s and the early 80s. So I, for the longest time, always had this perception that this song had aged poorly because people wouldn't get most of the references in it. Well, maybe not most, but some of, because like there's things people are always going to say, don't let the bad buds bite you, whatever, don't bite off more than you can chew and whatever, right? But I always thought that there was going to be a certain amount of it that people would be like, I don't understand, like that must be gibberish, or I don't understand what that means, right? Mm-hmm. So my question for you two is, am I right on that, or does that not in any way, shape, or form devalue the song?
Going over the song the last few days and even in the last few years, I feel like there's enough sayings that we still have in the vernacular that I wasn't thrown off by, because those things I kind of remember more, like make a mountain out of a molehill. Those are the things that stand out to me more, whereas the squeezing of the Charmin or the sell wine don't stick out to me particularly as like, oh, why is that in there? But I can see that that those lines could somewhat date it for other people.
Yeah, that's my question, I guess. And so, like, at no point when you listen to the song are you like, I don't know what he means by that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. Nothing ever sticks out for you that way.
Not well.
Yeah.
And it's weird for me because I get all this stuff. You know what I mean? Because like I remember all of it. So.
Well, I definitely don't. I definitely wouldn't say like I understood those things. I think for me, when it comes down to it, it's like if it's a good line, I don't really care. If it's something that I can remember, then it doesn't really bother me. It's the same thing with Buy Me a Condo, where there's all of these incredibly 80s references that it's like, I remember the thing about the Amway just because it's a good line. It's a quotable line.
Right.
Yeah. For me, I think I didn't get a lot of the things. And like I said earlier in the show, like I literally remember asking my mom, who is Mr. Whipple? Right. It gave me a reason to, ask what something was. Or, I heard the song and then as I used to do, once again, on Video Hits 1, I really enjoyed I Love the 80s TV specials and stuff like that. So they referenced a lot of the commercial things that maybe I wasn't super familiar with.
Yeah.
So I then had that moment when I was watching this, I was like, oh, that's what that Weird Al line is. Right. Yeah. So it gave me those later on aha moments that, I would have missed out on otherwise.
Yeah. Okay. That's just something I was wondering about.
Well, and I'd say for me too, there's so much of Al's music that I enjoy that was made long before I was born. Like I was born in 1995, so I just kind of roll with the punches, and especially now what I do, similar to Lauren, where she says she just looks up the reference. There's a website I use called genius.com where you can look up annotations of lyrics. And if you're looking for a particular line because you're looking for a particular reference, someone will have annotated it. So I can click on it and immediately see what's going on. So I think in this day and age, that is what a person that is younger would be apt to do, kind of if they're really wondering about it. I feel like they'll make the effort.
Right on. No, and I'm glad to get that perspective because I was going to bring that as a thing that I perceived as doesn't work about the song. And then as we were talking, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I have two people that I can ask if this works for you. I don't have to go, well, pretend you didn't know these references. Y'all didn't know these references, so I have you right here to ask. You don't have to pretend.
That's great.
One other thing I would like to point out about that, though, and this is going to just be a thing I appreciate about Al with this. Other artists I have seen, whether it's as simple as an age in a song or a timely reference to whomever won the sports ball that year or whatever, I have seen other artists poorly update their songs in concert, clunkily update their songs, and I don't like it when people do it. And I like that, like Noah mentioned earlier, and I know, Lauren, I know you know about it, like the updates that Weird Al has done to Dare to Be Stupid. I'm not even saying it right. It's not an update. He did it in different styles.
Yep.
But he didn't feel the need to be like, I'm going to work in Yokiro Taco Bell instead of Charmin. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't feel the need to be like, look, I'm hip, I'm cool. You know, like he's like, nope, these are the lyrics to Dare to Be Stupid, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I know it sounds silly, but like, I've even heard artists who will say like, you know, like Tim McGraw will update, very clunkily update It Was Labor Day weekend, I was 17. Like, and it's like, but Tim, that song is still about when you were 17, no matter how old you are now. Please stop changing the lyrics.
Oh no.
Right. And Axl does it with Estranged as well, because he wrote it when he was 28. So in the song, he says he was 28 and he keeps updating it. And it's like, but the song is about what you felt then, you know, and just like to me, the sentiment in Dare to Be Stupid is about what Weird Al was feeling then. And those references were timely to that.
Yeah.
Right. So anyways, my point is that even if y'all had been like, I wish you didn't have these references because I didn't get them, right? Like, I'm still glad that he never changes it.
Yeah.
Might sound like something silly to celebrate, but I'm very excited that he doesn't do that.
Yeah, it captures a moment in time, which I think is very important with music, is just to keep it in the context that it was written in. I will say, when I listened to Now You Know from Weird the Al Yankovic Story, it really bothered me when he said, we spilled all the tea. Because I'm like, that's such a current thing. That's such a current slang word that in 30 years it's gonna...
I think you would agree with me on this. Weird Al generally is so brilliant and so timeless that when he does something even remotely timely, that we like all of it, like you said, as soon as he says that line, you're like, oh, that's going to age poorly. Like,
yeah, it's a little sus when he does that.
It's more like, oh, very nice. It's more like, I'm not mad at Weird Al. I'm just disappointed, you know?
Yeah. But it's so weird because it's like we're saying, like, write things in the time with the context of the time. So I don't know why that one particularly annoyed me, but yeah, that is very interesting.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know why either, but no, I get that. Yeah, I don't like it either. I don't like that party. I don't like it either. So,
well, if it matters, I have a friend of mine that like last year around this time, I had to explain what spill the tea meant. So they still weren't even aware of it.
They have no riz.
It's probably because it veers too much into hello fellow kids territory. It's like trying.
Yeah, that's true.
It's trying too hard to be cool rather than just using slang you yourself would use in daily life.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh no, I'm yawning. I gotta stop.
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I promise. I'm excited about all of this because we have one very important thing left to do.
Yes.
We have to rate the song on a scale of 1 to 27. I'm going to go first, and I'm not painting myself in a corner with this on account of the fact that this is my favorite track on this album. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 26 out of 27, simply because I can.
Since I only got to do this once, I get the joy of forgetting to give it a 27. Yeah, this is by far the best song on the album for me. I mean, I probably like Slime Creatures from Outer Space in a kind of distant second. But yeah, nothing else really matches up for me because this comes in swinging. He really knocked it out of the park here.
I agree.
Yeah, I was trying to decide, like when I've told you about this before, like even at work, when I do evaluations and stuff, I always start like at a perfect score and try and work backwards, you know? So I was like trying to think like, well, what would I detract anything from? And I can't think of anything I would detract that would take points off of this. Like it's a perfect track.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back. I mean, you know what? I retract. I'm going to 27 also.
Yeah, I just can't think of any reason why I would take even like the only thing
He's trying to be edgy.
that I could think for that time would be, oh well, the production's dated, but it's not. Like that song sounds like it was produced yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are songs that have come out in the past year, literally, like we're recording this in 2024, that sound like crap compared to Dare to Be Stupid.
Yeah.
And it's not just that it's an electronic song and it was done with like, you know, all like synths and whatnot, because the vocals also sound like they were recorded yesterday. You know?
Yeah.
So,
I think the only thing that could potentially knock it down for me, and not even really, is the fact that it is a great Devo song and it was not written by Devo, because it's an interesting thing. I hear all the time about people saying, oh, like listening to Weird Al made me want to listen to this artist. It made me want to check out this artist. And I feel so many people in the fandom have that experience. Whereas for me, it's kind of, you know, I hate to say it, but every time that I've checked out a style parody from a certain, or checked out a band that he has done a style parody of, I've been a little disappointed because it doesn't quite give me the same feeling that I get when I listen to the style parody. So if I had to knock it down, I mean, you know, I guess I really couldn't do that because it's not his fault that he wrote a really great song that encapsulates an artist really, really well.
Yeah, I don't think that's a reason to take a point off of it at all.
Yeah, no,
Like,
not
yeah,
at all.
I think he
Not
made it
doing
so
it.
that you don't have to listen to any Devo. He covered it.
Yeah.
And that's why Mark Mothersbaugh hates him for it.
right.
So
Right.
27's across the board. Dare to Be Stupid is a perfect song. We're about to put a pin in this episode. Noah, did you have any closing thoughts? Anything that you wanted people to, I know this is usually when I ask people to promote their podcast, but is there anything that you would like people to just like check out?
Yeah, you know, you can check me out on Twitter at Noah Massay. That is Mussay. I post a lot about Big Brother, and Survivor's going to be starting soon. So if you want to hear my thoughts, if you like hearing me talk about things, that's usually what I'm talking about. If you want, I have a YouTube channel
Yes,
called
you do.
The Entertainment Zone. That is a channel where primarily I have been talking about Doctor Who. I covered the most recent season, and I am hoping to motivate myself to cover the classic series. That is something that I have wanted to do for a long time, and so hopefully this is the push to get me to do that. And until then, you can catch me at Jerry's Bait Shop. You know the place.
I do know the place. That's funny. Yeah. So, I mean, we can talk separately about the Doctor Who of it all, because I was very big into it, and then I fell off, and I'm trying to like get myself back on, and we can talk about why I fell off outside of this. But yeah, and Russ, of course, also YouTube. We do the thing.
Mm-hmm. 3 videos every week.
Infectious Groove Music YouTube channel. I will put links in the show notes to all of these things.
Recently hit over 500,000 views and went over 3,600 subs. That's pretty rare.
Very nice.
That's a lot of sandwiches.
Very nice.
Yeah, right. That is a lot of sandwiches. and only every so often do we get yelled at by people who focused in on like 30 seconds of a video instead of the entirety of the thing. So we got that going for us.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Look at that. All positive stuff. Okay, gentlemen, thank you both for being here. This has been a very fun episode, Daring to be Stupid. I believe... What's next? Aha. I've got Garrett, our friend from one of our fellow
Taking
OddPods
a
Media.
bullet on this one, man. I feel like most of everybody covering everything else on this record that's not Yoda is like taking a bullet.
Well, no, the first half of the album's pretty solid. Garrett's going to be here for I Want a New Duck.
Okay.
I get to tell
I find that song to be there.
Okay.
But we'll discuss it on that episode.
Yeah. But yeah, Garrett will be here to talk about that. And then I've got
My favorite part in that song, in case I'm not on that episode, because I know you're recording later with him, is the joke you didn't even get until like last year.
Yep. I'll tell that story then. So stay tuned. I've told it on the show plenty of times. Okay.
I literally laughed out loud the first time I heard the song. When he goes, "Get it?" I was like, ha 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 ha. Yeah.
I got it eventually. Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.